Okay, let me double check. The next quest is... It all began with the stone. No, that's the one we just did. Okay, the world was called Vana'diel, and then Juno. Okay, so we got 2 more quests to do. Okay. Let's go ahead and talk. Check on Prishe again. Nope, dot, dot, dot. First he served that tyrant Sareel Ja, and now he would dare usurp the throne for his pale imitation of the Dawn Servant. Sniveling wretch. Alright, let's go back to Alzal and start the next quest. That world was called Vana'diel. Alzal regards Prishe with a pained look in his eyes. Try as I might, I can recall nothing of my past to refute Sareel Ja's claims. Prishe, on the other hand, seems to know everything of her past and who she is. Yet to be told the memories of her life are not your own, I can only imagine how she must feel. Now is not the time to be disheartened. At least, not here anyway. I wouldn't trust anything made by Sareel Ja to be safe for long. Or to remain functional. Let's return to Mamook while we still can. My mother will want to know of what we've seen here. Alright. Let's head on out to Mamook. And let Buckle Jaja's mother know about all this. You know, he needs to do status updates with his mom, or else she gets worried. And there they are. Let's go and talk to everyone, and then Buckle Jaja. ... Are you gonna say anything else, Prishe? Now that we've returned, I can see now this isn't the Mamook that I know. I'm glad to see you and Buckle Jaja returned safely, and you've brought a new guest. Yes, I have. There you are. I thought you should be the one to explain what happened out there in Yaktel. Yeah, so we, went to another world, and, yeah, that's kind of par for the course for me. Not simply from another territory, but another world entirely. That explains much of the initial confusion between us. My apologies for any trouble I may have caused, and thank you for taking me in. Different worlds, and yet we seem to have so much in common. I cannot help but wonder what it is that links the two together. But indeed, you mistook us for the Sareel Ja you have in your Vana'diel when we first met. May I ask what they are like? Nothing at all like you and yours, even if they do bear a striking resemblance. There was a time when all the people of Vana'diel, the Sareel Ja included, knew peace. But a tyrant possessed of a terrible power claimed rulership over the Sareel Ja and turned them against us. Before we realized it, we were at war. A tale similar to ours, in a way. The rare few of us born with 2 heads grow to be immensely powerful. That power was used to justify our preeminence over all others. But that is not who we are anymore. We can be better than our forebears. We will be better. All of our work will be for nothing if Sareel Ja succeeds in seizing the throne. Well, you'll not want for aid in stopping him, I promise you that. Oh, keen to lend a hand, are you? I don't need to know who I am to know the right thing to do. My blade is yours. On my honor as an adventurer of Vana'diel, we will put an end to Sareel Ja's schemes. If she were here, I'm sure she'd have done the same. Right then. We can worry about whether or not I'm real another day. I'm not going to stand around and let Sareel Ja piss all over the memories of my home. So you can count me in too. Don't think you can forget about us. This is all started in Dawntrail, and we have a duty to keep our forests safe. Sareel Ja left us without a trail to follow, but it's only a matter of time before he reveals himself to challenge Brilliant once more. If you're to be ready, I think it's prudent the two of you learn more of our world. An excellent idea, brother. We should start with Tuliolol and see to our preparations while we're there. Oh, so are we just going to give them a guided tour for these next two quests? That'd be kind of boring. If you would meet us at the dirigible landing, we will see Prishe and Alzal to Tuliolol. Yeah, what the heck is this quest going to be? Yeah, whatever, we'll see. I know there's at least one quest after this, because the next one's called... Is the next one called Juno? Yeah, that's the last one for 7.1. I have no doubt Alzal and Prishe will be safe at your side. Oh, but not your son's side. But do make sure Bako Jaja doesn't overexert himself. Yeah, okay, typical mother. Alright, let's go ahead and teleport up to Eekbrox. And then we'll fly on over to the dirigible. So obviously this would be a lot more interesting if I actually knew any Final Fantasy XI lore. Or like much about the game at all. Because like even when I did like Omega, I knew who Kefka was. So like, where are they? Oh, they're in Tuliolol, okay. I thought they said that they were going to the dirigible and we'd meet them there. Okay, there they are. Or, they're not. Let's wait at the destination then. Waiting. Because like, I know stuff from pretty much every other Final Fantasy game. That's not true. I know 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, I think 12. I forget, is 12 Fran or 13? No, 12 is Fran, 13 is Lightning or whatever her name is. Because I think she's got 2 names. Obviously, I know 14. I know 15 and 16. So like literally 11 is the only one that I don't know much from. Those balloon-powered airships are really something. I didn't expect the flight to be so smooth. So this is Tuliolol. Looks like a big Final Fantasy XI reference to me. Before I forget, I couldn't help but notice how much you seem to know about me. Is there anything else you remember? I'm afraid I don't. And as you don't recognize me either, perhaps we weren't acquaintances after all. What I know of you was likely overheard in a tavern somewhere. Patrons sharing stories of your famed exploits. I see. Well, I'll leave it at that then. He's lying. Now, where to begin? Brother, would it not be wise to first apprise the Landsguard of what's happening? Or would you prefer another stern lecture from the Vow of Reason? Ugh, I'd sooner rip off our tail. Fine. Brilliant, can you do it for us instead? Could you keep them occupied while we see to the Landsguard? Maybe take them to eat or something. Oh, okay, so, Auntie's tacos or, Zabali of Thai? Ah, I know. Take to that Aunt T's to sample their tacos. Here, for that first meal of yours we spoiled. Oh, right. I forgot about that. He stepped on our tacos at the very beginning of the story. And he knocked us down and knocked our tacos away. Except those were from, Zabali of Thai, not Aunt T's. I think. And just so we're clear, We're not expecting to earn your forgiveness. Well, yeah, I'm not giving you your forgiveness if you're gonna destroy my food. No amount of good deeds will ever undo our past, but there's always time to build a better future. Is he gonna show the flashback of the tacos? Nope. Okay. When you get there, tell her we sent you. She'll see that you're taken care of. What? Apparently... Alright, Aunt T is, Mamook Ja, if I recall correctly. So we met her in the, Watch Your Makey Makey delivery quest lines. I think it was in the blacksmith and armorer one, because we needed to make some taco presses. I hoped she might remember me, but she doesn't even seem to know me. Gods, who am I? Aunt T's tacos, eh? Let me guess. They serve tacos. Good job, Prishe. Oh, I can hardly wait. I eat tacos all the time back home. Though I suppose it wouldn't hurt to take a more scenic route. Maybe something along the way will help jog Alzal's memory. Alright, let's get walking. Let's see, where should we go? Okay, there's a talking point over there, so I won't just teleport on over there. So I'll hit this talking point. I guess we'll just run to that talking point. I don't really see a more efficient way to do this. I guess we're going to show them the alpacas. Alright, you two, these are the alpacas. Oh, they're quite smelly, yes. Discuss alpacas. What in Altana's name is that? Do people actually ride those things? Yes. Chocobos are the only beast I've ever seen used for riding in Vana'diel. If they have any, I'd sure like to see them. Well, that's across the ocean, or across the salt. Those creatures remind me of the Chocobos in Vana'diel. To say we adventurers found them indispensable would be no exaggeration. From shore to shore, they were faithful companions wheresoever the roads might lead us. Okay, so let's run over to the next one, which is all the way over there. Let's walk through the history lesson, or where we got that history lesson. Looks like someone's getting theirs right now. You know, it still gets me that every single time I see a bunch of players around and knowing that they're like real people, probably, still gets me. Like just the idea that there's a game like this where a bunch of people can just literally walk around and hang out is really cool in my head. And then like you got places like the metaverse trying to be like, oh, we're hip and with it, and like, no, not hip and with it. We're doing some revolutionary thing. It's like, bro, people have been doing this since like the early 2000s. What are you talking about? Discuss Gorn Eat Truk, Gleamsands. That's right, wasn't that the beach? I cannot say why, but I've remembered something looking out at the sand dunes. There was a man out on the docks who claimed he could teach me new battle arts, but he would only agree on the condition that I retrieve for him a damn... Okay, this is probably some reference to some awful quest that's renowned, but again, I don't know anything about 11. An apron and a magic skull. I don't suppose you've met anyone on your travels who's made such queer requests. My home is surrounded by ocean too, you know. It has the most beautiful views on a clear day. Not without the occasional monster, though. It's nice being able to walk around like this without your guard up all the time. Maybe you should have your guard up. Okay, next one's in the markets over here. I forget what they call them. Bayside Bevy, that's what it's called. They're going to talk about the auction house again? Well, I guess the market board's on the other side over there, so probably not. Discuss Bayside Bevy. So these are the markets of Tuliolol. There's so many stands. I wouldn't know where to begin. It's enough to make my head spin. Some fruit would sure hit the spot right now. No, Prishe, remember, you're about to eat tacos. Yes. I happened to spy a few goblins on the way to the market. No, they are moblins. I remember them living in the major cities of Vana'diel as well. Of course, there are no shortage of unscrupulous sorts living in the wilds as well. They would gather in droves and give chase to adventurers. forcing anyone and everyone to retreat back to the safety of town. Sir, they are moblins, and they were make it very clear, telling you that they are moblins. Alright, there's Aunt T's. Let's go ahead and get some tacos. Okay. Dr. Prishe? Yeah, there's Sareel Ja. That's her. That's Aunt T. This is the place, right? I can smell the savory meat already. And you must be Aunt T. Buckle Jaja recommended we sample your tacos. So, we'll have 3 of your finest, please. Buckle Jaja sent you, did he? Take a seat, and I'll be right over with a tray of our world-famous fare. You know, world-famous, which means that they're not heard of outside of Tuliolol. Tacos at long last. Oh, how I've waited for this moment. I thought nothing could match the rich flavor of our tacos back home, but the spicy seasoning of this meat is something else. Eat as many as you like. No. The meals on Buckle Jaja, so don't hold back. Prishe has taken the lead, but we won't be outdone, surely. Yeah. Definitely. That's why I always forget to eat food before combat. Phew, I couldn't eat another bite. Thanks for treating us. I'm not paying. It was almost like a taste of home. Nazia. Seeing as we have a little extra time to ourselves, care to hear more about Vana'diel? Not really. Again, all the Final Fantasy XI nerds are probably freaking out whenever they see these pictures. 20 years ago. 20? 2006? Okay, which expansion was that? I gotta look it up. Yeah, okay, so that would have been 2006. So, let's see. Plot. No, that's not. Expansions and add-ons. So that would have been Treasures of Urgon, or Hidden Treasure of God. Okay. 20 years ago, the land was gripped by a terrible conflict, the Crystal War, they called it. And it wasn't long before my home, Nazia, was drawn into struggle. Is that correct? No, probably not. I guess it's not. I guess they're not doing it like that. That would have been pretty funny, though. So do any of these make sense for this? Or is this just not actually one of the expansions? Anyway, that would have been cool if it was, though. During their assault on the peninsula, the Beastmen launched a weapon so powerful it sundered the land, connecting us to the mainland. Those who survived fled on the Tavnazion safehold. It wasn't much, but we were able to piece together a modest living down in those caves. Sorry, I'm spoiling the mood, aren't I? You're an adventurer too, aren't you? Have any tales of daring you can share with us? So there's this thing that when I went to the edge of the universe to fight hopelessness incarnate and rode on the back of a dragon who was my arch nemesis who had transformed into a dragon, and we defeated it with the power of friendship and love and hope. Wow, that sounds kind of cringe, don't you? It was hype as hell, man. traveling to other worlds and saving this one from the very embodiment of despair. Wait, really? You're not just an adventurer, you're a goddamn living legend! Yeah. I'm glad somebody realizes that. A hero. A living legend. It'd be really funny if he's like some big hero. Sorry for the wait. Oh, is he, going to end up being that person that we couldn't meet when we were in Juneau? That was supposed to be in that room? Sorry for the wait. There was much to apprise of the Landsguard of, as you well know. That Sareel Ja was behind the stolen relics and the sighting of Gulul Jaja was understandably difficult for them to hear. But yeah, because the writers had written Sareel Ja had died and then he somehow returned. And yet, there are others enticed by the rumors of a strange portal in the woods. I've heard some foolhardy treasure seekers have gone off looking for it. Definitely wasn't me with my maps. A dangerous thought, knowing Sareel Ja could show up at any time with more of those echoes. Which is why I'm going back to Juneau to make sure our people stay out of there. If you're going, then so are we. It beats sitting around waiting. Alright, is that going to be the end of this quest? Yeah, okay. Let's go and talk to everyone and wrap this one up, and then there's one more quest after that. After this. I'm fairly sure I've had Tavnazian tacos before. They were famous for their heartiness and helped stave off fatigue. Perfect for those who often found themselves on the defensive in battle. Okay, so it was tank food. Okay. Maybe we should bring Mukulamat and that other friend of yours. Kryl, was it? Why would he ask for Kryl? Oh, because of the echo? Oh no, because I think Kryl is some sort of Final Fantasy XI reference. I forget. I think Kryl was in like, there's some reference with Kryl. Yeah, I think something about her has some reference to another Final Fantasy game. I forget. Her robe is based on her Final Fantasy V namesake's white mage appearance. Okay, so she actually has her namesake. Okay, got it. Yeah, okay, so her character's her name is a Final Fantasy V reference, not 11. That makes more sense. Gods, those tacos were bloody brilliant. There's nothing better than good food and good company to pass the time. Yeah, like a living legend like me.